Hi guys, sorry for bad quality. My camera just died, so I'm using one of my older cameras. So basically, if it cuts out, I will just upload the first part and then continue. So here we have my high fantasy, like Lord of the Rings and stuff. So here we have the Lord of the Rings in one volume, and this is currently one of the books I really want to read the most. Either this version or version in Polish. And here I have Silmarillion, Children of Húrin, and comic book version of Hobbit. I love Hobbit. I read it twice, and I really love it. And first part of Lord of the Rings too. Eragon, and Inheritance in Polish. Not really fond of Eragon. I started reading it, but twice, and I finished it the second time. And now it feels like it's bit of like you feel he wrote it like when he was 15 or something, and you feel it like, you know, I understand and stuff, but I will pick it up. I want to read it. I want to give it a chance. Maybe even if the first one is like okay with writing, the second one or third one might be better. So I will not, like, you know, go and say okay, but it's shit. I will not pick those up. I own the books. Here are my Wheel of Time series. They are, funny thing, they are in Swedish. So this one, these two are first book. These two are second book. This one is third book in English, and then fourth book in Swedish, and fifth, fourth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. Wizards first rule. Dwarfs. And here it's not a book, but it's I file it under fantasy because it's awesome with Boris Vallejo. Paintings and stuff. You can check it out on internet, which I highly recommend. I hope I did set his name right. And here we have Robin Hobb's The Dragon Keeper. Game of Thrones books. I read only first one and I started reading the second one, but I plan on rereading the first one and trying reading them in, you know, back to back. I am really bad with that. I like lose interest now fast, and so I'm waiting to a particular moment when I will be like, okay, Game of Thrones. The Final Empire. This is the book I might pick it up like really soon. Like most likely when I'm done with Percy Jackson. Either this or Heroes of Olympus. I don't want any spoilers about it. I don't want to hear anything about it. I will not even like add it to Goodreads as currently reading. I don't want to have any knowledge before I read the book. This is why I want to read it soon. Witcher in Polish, known as game. Obviously in Polish, I am Polish, so I will not read it in English. So here are the Swedish fantasy books. Chronicles of Narnia. Septimus Heap, which I haven't read yet, but I looked in and it's gorgeous. Harry Potter, a huge Harry Potter fan. I put Sea of Monsters back. It's first one I have in Polish, second one I have in Swedish, and then three last ones I have in English, and I prefer the English ones. I am reading currently the second one, and it's awesome. Heroes of Olympus, the first one. Fable Heaven, haven't read that one yet. Spiderwick Chronicles, read the first one, pretty good. Like not one of my favorites, but it's fast read and it's good for children. Also from Tony DiTerlizzi, Wandla book, first one. The Dune, I started reading it. It was at the time when I was like reading thousands of books at the same time, so I haven't finished it, and it's awesome. Ender's Game and Ender's Series, also started reading it. The beginning is a bit slow, but later on it's much better. I will start on from the beginning, the same with all the other books I started reading. Beautiful Friendship, picked it up recently, alongside with two last books of Ender, actually. I haven't read that yet. I want to do it. Hunger Games, one of my favorite books. The first one, the second one I dislike, and here's the Swedish version of the first one, and I haven't read the third one yet. Divergent, it's fine. I will start reading it from the beginning whenever I feel like it, and then I have Insurgent too. Doctor Who books, Clockwork Orange. Oh, sorry. Here I have other fantasy, sci-fi books, like the 3 of them from Sarah A. Hoyt. Haven't read that ones yet, but they were really cheap, so I just picked them up. Storm Dancer, also want to read it. Northern Lights, and I have entirety of, I have like 3 versions or 4 versions of entirety of His Dark Materials, but this one my girlfriend currently reads the second one, so she has it, and the first one, the second one, and the third one. Engelfors trilogy, the Swedish magic mystery series. Read the first 2, started reading the third one. I will start over and pick it up very soon. Sherlock Holmes, also like mystery. Millennium trilogy, like the girl with dragon tattoo, and the 2 last I don't remember the names of. They're in Polish. My recent addition to the collection is Skullduggery Pleasant. I wanted to read it, and I was like in the shop, and it was like for 25 crowns, which is maybe like $2.50. And I was like, I have to get this one. I started reading it and it was pretty good. I was sucked in, but I didn't finish it. Circularly, like Swedish novel that is not really known. And here we have my horror 2 vampire books. Let the Right One In, and Anne Rice's Interview with Vampire. My Stephen King's collection: Carrie, Salem's Lot, Shining, the old Polish version, Firestarter, Cujo, Christine in 2 volumes. Here we have It, Misery, Geralt's Game, Dumaki, I think, and Hand of Master, I think. No, I don't remember it. Those 2 are last are in Polish. Here we have Frankenstein, Dracula, Exorcists, Aleister Crowley, and H.P. Lovecraft, like novellas, you know, short stories. Warriors, and those 2 are my girlfriend. Really like the series. I read the first 2. It's not really well known, but I will pick the third one up. Series of Unfortunate Events. I'm almost done with the series. I have only 7th and 13th book left. Although before I might, like, you know, just go back to the beginning, because we will soon get the TV series on Netflix. So I will just go and you know, pick that up and read from the beginning to just remind myself what that is. And here is my young adult section. I am not very fond of young adult, actually. So I have Twilight, read them once, have to reread them. I think the movies are books are better. The movies, The Host, Beautiful Creatures, started reading the first one, and it was really good. But yet again, I haven't finished it yet. Abundance of Katrina's. Started reading it, not really my thing, maybe. Will Grayson, I will finish it though. The 14 Stars, read it, awesome. Clockwork Princess, I have only the first one. I want to read Infernal Devices soon. So I will maybe borrow the first 2 from library and stuff. The City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, and City of Heavenly Fire. I bought the City of Heavenly Fire because it was cheap. I will either buy, if I like the third one, I will buy 2. If I, you know, like I am like, I don't have money, I want to buy something else, I will just borrow them from library. Here are books like my Polish history fiction books, and basically Polish version of Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King in English, like single volume, my manga and my comic books. And here is the Swedish version of Harry Potter, which I get from my girlfriend.